just want to keep you abreast of what's happening weather-wise if you haven't poked your nose out the door or out the window today.
It's cold.
It is cold. It's very cold.
Really cold.
But how cold? Let's go to John Hammond, and he's going to tell us about this because there is a yellow warning of snow and ice. The thing that gets me, John, you get up on a day like this and then you realise the car windows frosted over and things, and that's where you got to give yourself an extra 10 minutes or so. Morning.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Morning, you two. Yeah, we've got as low as -8 degrees, -9 in one or two places, even across southern England. So we're not just talking about the glens of Scotland. A severe frost out there, a crunchy start, as you say. You'll have to allow a bit of extra time to scrape the old windscreen and defrost the car. There's a bit of snow around, even across Cornwall, and not every winter you get dusting of snow across the tip of Cornwall, but that is the case this morning. And yeah, and locally, some of us are waking up to a winter wonderland out there. Primarily the usual suspects, the north of Scotland, parts of Northern Ireland, some snow showers across parts of northwest England and North Wales. That said, actually, most of us haven't seen a flake of snow. And I'll stick my neck out and say that most of us actually won't see a flake of snow throughout this cold spell. But having said that, given we've had a month of mild weather, it is a shock to the system and it is going to hang around for the rest of this week. So, yeah, you're going to need your scraper to hand, you're going to need your de-icer to hand, because they will be needed over the next few mornings, because we're going to see further severe frost, I think, through this week. Fog might be an issue later on this week when the winds fall light, freezing fog at that. So, you know, many viewers out there will be thinking, hey, this is January, this is what we get, there's nothing extraordinary about this spell, and that's absolutely right. But given how mild it's been, and given how much water there is across the landscape, everything is going to freeze. So ice is going to be a big player over the next few days and nights, given how wet the landscape is after all that heavy rain that we've had. And of course, as we've already seen before Christmas, with the tragedy of the children that fell through the ice, a word of warning for parents out there, if you've got young children who are thinking of going out and skating on that pond, make sure they don't, because there will be a lot of thin ice out there over the next few days.
Absolutely, always worth underlining that advice. That truly was tragic just before Christmas. But you're talking about how mild it's been. I think it was 13 degrees or something like that on Christmas Day, wasn't it? And yet, yesterday, we were all expecting to wake up, certainly in the capital, to a winter wonderland. And in fact, it was torrential sort of rain. And I think that put a lot of people into the mindset of ignoring this cold snap, thinking before Christmas, we've got it wrong. Because that's what I did. I thought, well, yeah, I mean, snow, what they're talking about. And then sure enough, you say, well, you could still have cold weather all week. So, you know, can we trust the forecasts?
Well, the problem with these warnings is the meteorologists are damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. Because, as you know, if you get a flake of snow in London, then all hell breaks loose, doesn't it? And mayhem can quickly happen in the capital with just a dusting of snow. So the snow didn't occur across parts of the southeast. But, you know, there are other warnings in force across the country. On the Met Office website, you'll see the details of those warnings. And I think the main issue over the next few days will be ice, given just how much water we've had, rainfall. The good news is that we're not going to see a lot of rain through the rest of this week, and indeed beyond that, through next week and possibly beyond, through into February. The signs are that we're into a dry spell now, so that has to be good news given the concerns about flooding. There's a lot of rivers which are still pretty high, but they should start to subside, and the concerns about flooding should drain away literally and metaphorically over the next few days, because a lot of dry weather is forecast, albeit quite cold, through the rest of this week.